Hey guys, from MudMowers. Today we got transaxles and tires. Enjoy! So got a few parts finishing up in this. It's mainly just small stuff like bushings and really small gears because I've already got all of the big gears down in here, so that's like all the washers and bushings and stuff. But there's all of that. This was that spare box I've had in case I need something spare. I pretty much won't need anything from here, maybe like a couple bowl gears and maybe a shifter and some of these which go right in here. But that's pretty much the only stuff I'm going to need. But I'm also going to need, I'm going to put 4 spider gears in the front transmit axle, and then I'll also put 2 more to lock it. So yeah, got all these cleaned up, so it's just be kind of like spare parts now, kind of like how I have all of those 800 gear parts. There's also this box of Spicer transmissions. I mean, it's a big box as you can see, and that thing is packed with gears. I mean, that weighs like 50 pounds. And there's also a lot of washers they use, pretty much between like pretty thick, and then they use up to like paper thin washers, which I find super useful in these because they have these like tiny little paper thin washers that you can really bend in your hand, and those are so important for getting proper end shaft play and proper gear play. Like you can see that kind of play. And you can also adjust these gear play with how many washers you put on the end of this. Can't really change this one because it uses one big washer. I guess you could put a washer on that. But I've got one of these paper thin washers on this. Okay, this is the paper thin washer I'm talking about. It's a little bit tricky to see. I mean, that thing's small. Here, I'll show you. See, I'm bending that in my hand. You can bend it so easily, which makes it a super useful washer, which is probably the only useful part in a Spicer transaxle is the washers and the bushings, I guess. But that's how I got all of this end play correct. So I'll put that back together really quick, and then I'll show you what I've got done. So pretty much what I've got done is both transaxles complete. I'm going to call it complete because all of the gears and reverse is complete. The only thing that takes like 5 minutes to do is put the axle in, put bearing and a seal, put the differential in, and put this little gear set, which takes like 2 seconds to put in. But that's what I'm going to call complete. I finally got both of them complete. And surprisingly, with all of these transmissions, with that one there, and then with this one, and then I have one more somewhere else. But anyways, I've got so many of these apart right now. I've got 2 more, probably even another 3 more cases somewhere. So I got so many parts now, and I finally got all of these ratios correct. It's taken a while now, but finally. So what I've had to do is get the reverse chain correct, because they've also used much bigger sprocket. I mean, it's way bigger. And then they also use a 1/2, I think, smaller sprocket with that bigger sprocket. I tried to keep it pretty much 1-to-1 so I can get going pretty fast in reverse. So yeah, I'll show you that there. It's the exact same as that there. So yeah, it's all nice. I can't spin it because the input shaft is sitting right there. But got all that done. I've got all these end plays done. I actually could have put a paper fin washer in here. That's what I'm going to call them now from now on. Paper fin washer. But I literally just took this one to the belt sander for like couple of seconds. And I got my shaft play like very good. Like there's no play in here actually. I cannot move it. But there's enough play in these gears that's going to make me like know that it's all good. This gear's a little bit loose just on the splines and whatnot, but it's very nicely done. I've also got these gears, just a little amount of play, that's all you need, because you also want to check that these are all lining up for each gear, making sure that one's not like crossing into this one on accident. Which there's so many ways you can adjust it. You can adjust it right there, you can adjust it right there too, and you can adjust it back in there, which I actually don't. I guess that one, you can see I've adjusted it a little bit, and you can also adjust it right there. But I mean, try to get these as best as you can, and make sure your reverse chain is also straight. That's a little bit of a confusing one sometimes, because this one, this lip on it, or it's called a lip, it's facing out, and this lip is also facing in because it has to push it away enough. You can see that lip, it has to push it away enough from this gear so the links don't catch. Yeah, there's all of that. I've also got, I don't know why this is so loose. I should probably actually tighten it up. Yeah, I think I might have actually forgot to put a washer in there. I've taken this apart a few times now. But you want to make sure that you're getting good contact with your input gear down there. This input gear is a little bit blocked off. You want to make sure you have the right spacing going up on it. You can adjust it. You can barely see the washer back in there. You can adjust that. And you can also adjust how much you push this over, which that's a bit of a problem. I should have noticed that. So I'm just going to put a washer. It'd probably be a washer like this. It's a pretty good washer because it fits over the splines. It's not too big. I think that would be perfect. I don't know. I guess these aren't loose, which these aren't loose because they might be like doing something like that, but I don't know. So I get that fixed up. Moving on to this side. This one really hasn't changed much. I have had to like change some of these separate gear issues out because I'm having to adopt to this one, which I literally just took a transaxle, opened it up, dumped all those parts into a bucket, washed them in that, took them back out, assembled it, and that's how I tried to keep all the ratios nice and not getting them all mixed up and having to dig through that box right there. But now I've got this one, end play. There's a little tiny bit. Gear play, it's actually it's pretty good. This gear play, not bad. These are always loose for some reason, even though I got a washer on there, so you can expect that to be a little bit loose. I'd probably try fitting a washer on there though. You also want to make sure, I guess this isn't the right case, but you also want to make sure, like I said, that it's riding correctly on your input gear. Shift keys. I assembled that one on accident and forgot to put the shift keys in first, which is you kind of want to do that. You want to put the reverse chain on. The reverse chain is, what I would do is I would assemble all of these gears, put this on, test out how good this fits, push it up against your gear, your input, see how it fits, and then assemble the reverse chain, get the second shaft in, put all of this stuff right in here on, and then put the shift keys in, because you can put them on this, you can shift it into neutral on that collar, which all it takes is, yeah, you can kind of like tilt this up maybe somehow. You can pretty much do it one, where you can like hold this with your other hand, do this with one hand. You stick these shift keys out very far, almost to like, almost when they're gonna fall off. Like if this was a shift key, that'd be a good spot to have it sticking out. And you hold them all like this, and then you take this collar, this shifting collar, and you let one of them loose, and well, actually you do two. I'd say put two on, and then shove one more out, put it on, and then you can grab this, and it's pretty much solid, and you can, with your other hand, you can slip that little key up in there and push it all on, and you're gonna notice that you gotta get it past these snap rings, I guess, these C-rings. And I literally just found this, but the easiest way to do it is you push them against there, you put a zip tie on, and you zip it on, and it's actually, I thought the zip tie wouldn't be able to move these big spring washers, not washers, but spring loaded keys, because these are spring loaded, which is why it goes up like that. But yeah, you just put the zip tie on it, and you zip it, and then you can take your hammer, and you can just tap on this, and it'll shift right in, and then you cut the zip tie off, and you're all good. But I'm going to be watching Cowgirl Motorsport's locker video on how he's done it. He sticks 2 extra spider gears in here, not on the cross pin, but on here with some bolts to space them and whatnot. And then pretty much locked up. It's super simple. This is the solid axle, which will be going in the back, and I've also got the hub and lock collars ready to be installed. It's kind of hard to see. Look how deep that goes. What an unfortunate spot for rust. I got all my holes drilled. You can see that these ones are all drilled now. Like that. These ones are for mounting. Same with those ones there. The only problems I had was drilling these 2 brake holes. Every time the drill bit went through these and got to the bottom of this, it had some problems. So drill got stuck there, so I had to toy with it a little bit, but I got it out. On that one, I left the 2 brake holes on that one untouched, and I was planning on doing it on this one, but I totally forgot about it, and I started drilling that. I pretty much drilled till I hit that bolt, so I stopped. What I would do is try to take that broken bolt out, which I most likely hit, and that's what stopped me. So hopefully I didn't mess up the threads too bad. If I did, I can just oversize it one and put a self-tapping bolt in those. And I think what I can do is just drill this out one more, and then get a stud and put the stud in here. So stud, put another nut on that. So I'll probably do that, and then we'll be all good on these. So I've got the cases ready now. This one's gonna go in first. I got this plug in here, just keep the bearings dry. This one I'll put in second. Take that, put it in here. I can kind of fit 2 in here like that. So I got these tossed in the parts washer now. And then once I'm done, pull them out, and I should be able to slap them together. Put some RTV on it, put the axle seals in, put them up in the 4x4. Oops. So I got this case. I got a grease fitting it now. This is a wheel bearing on a Craftsman grease fitting. Go everywhere on these Craftsmans. So got that in there. This is actually the back case, which I'm working on the back case. Here's on my gears. I'm getting dried out. I'm working on the back case here. And as you can see, I I got the dock lock all installed. I got about, let me see if I can show you guys. Just a very little amount of play. So I got the big washer here that keeps the two keys from popping out and anything. Then I've got just a couple filling washers just to keep anything away from this gear like that. And I've got the same on this side, big washer keeps the key from popping out. And I've got the lock collar and just a washer. So there's all that. I got this tightened down, and on my X hub there's a set screw tightening the key and one tightening it to the shaft. So that's all fine and dandy. What these washers are right here, those two, and that one, is actually, let me find one. It's this washer, which you would actually find right here, and it goes, sometimes might even be two of them, and it goes on your axle shaft behind the spider gear, like that. It goes like that. And I actually took all of the axles apart over here, so there's no spider gears on those. I think there's some more axles somewhere maybe, but now I've got all of these nice washers I can put to use. At least 20 of them. I've got like 20 of these clips too. So yeah, I've got all that stuff. Got the dock lock installed, and I just measured, took a tape measure and I measured from here to that, and it's like 8 and almost a quarter inch on each side just so I can get it perfectly straight. And then I got that all tightened down, so now I'm pretty sure I can throw this case on there now. These two little guys. This is the smaller seal, which fits on, not on the input shaft, but on that, I guess, counter shaft you call it, or the driven shaft, I think. So there's like all the part numbers and whatnot. It doesn't look like it has a size on there, but I guess that might be a website you can look it up on. There's that, and then this is the input seal, or ring, whatever you want to call it. They're actually really nice seals because they're. Let me try to get one. Like, both of them are like this. They're like, I forget what you might call this. It might be like an X seal, X O-ring, something like that. But they're well made, and when you squeeze them, they get even wider and whatnot. But there's the input one. I'm gonna go buy some of those for your project. Yeah, I might be able to find where I bought these from, and if so, I'll post them on my offroad.mudmowers.com forums. I'll post it somewhere like on the transaxle forum in there if you want to go and find those. And I'll also post up these Ina, that's the brand name I think, Ina bearings. These are the input bearings. They have a parts number. They kind of have a parts number. Yeah, it's SCE108. That's the bearing number. About $7 I think on Amazon, and a little bit spendy. But yeah, it's pretty much what you need to rebuild one of those, honestly. Also, here is the bearings I used on the shaft, on the 3/4" shaft. 6203-12-2 OS. It's a 3/4" bearing. Looks full to me, I guess, right? Looks full enough. But hey, it shut up now, so that's good. And it also took away a little bit of the play in it, so right on. Actually takes a little bit to spin, but that's just because there's so much grease in there right now. So yeah, let's get that thing assembled. Well, boys, I think I actually did one thing right for once. It actually spins. And you can hear the gears meshing. So I have the ball and spoon sitting right there because, well, I kind of remember I have this plug. And I put the ball on its plate and put the spring up in its hole with some grease, and then realized I want to seal off a little bit of the center section too, because I do have that hole that goes all the way through now. Just to be safe, I didn't want it leaking out from there. Stick it back about, and I just said screw it, I'll put those in later. So yeah, there's that. You can see my penny up in there, right? I'll clean it off a little bit once it's done drying, so you can kind of see the president on the transmission. But yeah, there's all of that. I think it actually went together correctly, you know? It's not all like uneven and whatnot. It does have a little bit of just a little bit of a gap, but it actually gets flushed back in there. So let me just grab a wrench like this one. And the problem I was having is I wanted to stick these bolts up this way, which I can see. You can see I got the lock washer, and a lock nut, which it barely just starts engaging the nylon. It's not even tight yet, so yeah. So I got a little bit of cleaning to do. But anyways, it was kind of a pain to do because I kind of have, like, if I wanted to get this one, I'd have to tip the transaxle, which has oil in it, which I don't want getting on the sealant. So I did just a few of them and just kind of barely hand tighten it. You're supposed to kind of like let that stuff sit and get really sticky for a couple, maybe 20 minutes. I don't know, but this should work, I hope. I hope my axle seals. Those are the main problem. Not the main problem, but the main, like, weak point on this. That seal should do pretty good there too. Enough gibberish. Let's try shifting it and actually making sure it shifts. We'll just go into 1. I don't know actually where 1 is because I don't have a shift detent in there. Wow, look at that. It's actually spinning in. No way. There's that, and I can actually see the axle spinning, but just for viewing purposes, I will shift it up to 6 hopefully. Hopefully I won't shake it too much when I do this. Let's see if I can. Okay, I think that should work. Hopefully it's in gear. There's the click. Wow. It's actually easy to do. I could do it like with my pinky if I just put a little bit of pressure on it. I don't want to like tip it too much because there's still not very good sealant on there yet, but wow, that's amazing. You can see the axle is somehow spinning, and both of them are right. So somehow I did something right this time. But yeah, I am actually so happy I got that thing together just now. Whew. Well, hard part's over for one of them at least, right? Still got that one to do. So I got all of the bolts threaded in there now. I just jacked it up so I can kind of like get to these without tipping the transmission too much. Seems pretty level, so it shouldn't leak. There's these ones, like I said, I just kind of put them flat again, so that should work. I was gonna like cut that off, but whatever, right? If you wanna do this, just like I said, drill out all these holes, except these two, unless if you never plan on using your brakes. I don't intend to use them yet on this, but sometime I actually want to hook like the parking brake up on the back and maybe even on the front. Might make sense to have them on the front too. But yeah, it takes 13 of these bolts. They're grade 5. There you go, this is kind of hard to see, but it's a grade 5 bolt. It's 2 inches long, so it's a 1/4 by 2 inch. And then you need 2 of these, which is a 1/4 by 2.5 inch long bolt. Grade 5 2, kind of hard to see. And you only need these ones to go here and here, so that's why you need 2. If you never plan on using your brakes, drill those out and you need 4 of these. But then, this has 17 total bolts. An MST or something else might have a little bit of a different count. So you need 13 of these bolts, 2 of these bolts, which give you 15, and then these 2 give you the 17. So yeah, I'll go ahead and tighten this up in a little bit because it's almost been an hour. Give you a little update here. I've got the rims cleaned up. These 2 are the front rims, these are the back rims. I know these are keyed. You can see the keys. If I would have had the time, I probably would have gotten actual like hubs that can have set screws, put some set screws on it, and then bolt the wheel to it on a 3/4" shaft, because that would work a lot better instead of having keys, because these they tend to crack and not the strongest. But if I have some time later on, I might convert to that. I'll go ahead and sand these down just to get the paint scuffed up. I'm going to paint them gloss black. I've got some valve stems to put in too, replace all of them. Finally got the tires in. Just got them sitting right here, but I'll show you guys a size comparison. There's a Kodo, so you can see it's not too bad. I'll put it on this way. Almost as big as a Kodo. I'm not sure. Like, is this an inch? I'm not sure though. So they're 2210 by 8. Kenda bearclaws. It's 8-inch rim, 10 inches wide, and all of them are 10 inches wide. I just figured it would look best kind of having same tires all the way around that instead of having like little tiny ones up front. Especially because these are being driven. I don't want just tiny little like pizza cutters up front. So I think those should look excellent. See how fat those tires are. It's crazy. But yeah, I didn't expect them to be this beefy. Might have to get some spare transmission set up. But I also like them because they got these knobbies on the side, which are excellent at grabbing in ruts. As you can see, these will grab nice in ruts. They're pretty much like a Kenda Executioner, except smaller. But yeah, there's the back. I also see I got the transmission mounted up. Transaxle. It's actually in gear right now, so you might be able to see that toner. It's in 6th gear. This is about where it'll sit, because if I have the rim and all in here and this tire's actually blown up, it'll actually be about where it's sitting right now, which is pretty high off the ground. But I've got a plastic, because that's what the hardware store had, breather for my transaxle, and then I've got everything else assembled. I tighten all these bolts down. Silicone's all nice and hard, and it's been a day. But it's where I want it on the oil level. It's just almost to the halfway mark. It's almost as full as half of a case. So like if it's sitting, it's not going to be trying to leak out. Yeah, so far hasn't been leaking down here. So that's a good start. I've also got these rods. Got another one too. I'm going to be making steering arm from this to the knuckle, and from the knuckle to that knuckle. So it'll work out nicely. Set the engine in for a quick second. As you can see, I've got the belt on now. There's the pulleys I had last video. So this has been welded up now. And I've also got this Kevlar belt. The bottom one is just standard belt. It's not Kevlar because it's never going to be like, it's always going to be tightened. This one's going to be doing a lot of clutching, so just thought that would be nice to have. As you can see, I got the pulleys in there. Get a better shot of those. And they come back like this. This one is the one that's going to be driven, which will have the power going to the transmission, to the transaxle. And I just put this little pulley in there because before it wants to go in a straight line like that and hit all this stuff. So that worked out nicely. Wraps around the 5.5-inch pulley, back to the clutch, and I'm still ordering up the right pulleys for this, so that's not the right pulley. I'm gonna get the right one, and then goes back up to the engine, clutch, and my little idler pulley, and it goes up there to the 2 pulleys. Hits nothing on its way, which is good. Clears that steering arm okay. Shouldn't have any problems with it hitting, but yeah. I'm glad I got the belt on though now. I've just got it vice gripped, and it's not all perfect right now, so I'll give you guys a little spin. It's really stiff because it's not woken night, but I'll zoom you in and you'll probably see that pulley spinning back there. Like I said, all of this is rubbing and it's kind of hard to show. But yeah, got some decent work done this time. So next step should just be finalizing the belt and whatnot, putting the front tranny in, and getting the shifter done, and then I should be able to assemble it pretty much. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video of MudMowers. Stay tuned for more.